Okay, Chef, thank you so much for taking the time to visit with me today. I'm so glad because we're here at Ward Village at Mai Tai, and it's funny, Chef, she's right over there. I know you personally picked this restaurant.
Absolutely.
And I have to ask, there's so many great places at Ward Village, but why are we starting here? Why
I mean, you know, I grew up going to, you know, working at Roy's in Hawaii Kai, and Miley's, you know, obviously has started in Hawaii Kai. So, not only is the food amazing, but she's an ultimate hospitality person. You know, she makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, that's important, and so I'm glad she's right here because I live about 5 minutes away.
Yeah, you're in the Ward Village area. You know, it's funny, she was saying too, you know, as you and chefs, you work long hours, you're on your feet, but and I've heard a lot of chefs say this before, when you're done working, you want comfort food.
I mean, you almost want comfort food, like bad comfort food, you know?
Like the
it's either home cooked, but you know, a little bit greasier. You know, it's definitely the opposite of what I cook every day.
And talk about what you do, Chef. You've had an amazing culinary journey, and as I was saying before, you know, for local boys, local people, we see somebody like you have a success, go around the world, New York, San Francisco, all these places, but come back home. We're so proud. I gotta ask you, Chef, how was that journey? How's it been?
It was long. It was not super, you know, wasn't driven by money for sure.
Interesting. Did you know as a young kid, like when did you know this is what you wanted to do?
I was very fortunate, you know, since the age of 4, I knew. So, you know, I have pictures in front of the Christmas tree that the chef has.
No way.
Yeah, so it was easy for me. You know, obviously I played sports growing up, but you know, cooking was always drawn to cooking, no matter what. So, you know, during high school I would work in restaurants for free. So it was, my path was pretty easy. Yeah, I just needed to work hard.
You saw the path and you decided
absolutely,
to go.
absolutely.
Well, but don't sell the work hard short, because you worked very, very hard. The restaurants you've created, built. I hate to put you on the spot, but because you've traveled around the world, how would you describe your culinary influences, your tastes? Like how?
Yeah, I think that's always defined by places you lived, people you work for. You know, I trained in a very French kitchen under Thomas Keller, but I'm Japanese. You know, my first mentor, Ron Siegel, leaned towards Japanese as well. So, I mean, that's kind of to where you know, I gravitate towards. But you know, over the years, my food definitely has become more simpler.
Interesting.
So yeah, I mean, you know, it's that's what I love about cooking. It's a constant evolution. You know.
And isn't it cool being in Ward Village where you have all these different places that you can try out?
Absolutely.
Right?
You know, you have amazing Thai food. You have Vietnamese right next door.
And I wish we had smell-o-vision at home because this smells amazing. First of all, Chef, I know you know all these things, but this is one of your favorite, and I gotta ask why. What do we have right here?
So this is the local moko. I mean, what makes this unique is, you know, normally it's a patty, right? But you know, it's way more fragrant with the herbs, with the basil. It's definitely spicy, but the egg, you know, kind of the fat of the egg kind of tones it down. So it's just a unique spin on a local moko.
I could see this, and this is breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
After work,
right? And then also the great thing about is the Thai, is the curry. Like, what do we have with the curry here and the salad that we got right here?
I mean, that's you know, the famous papaya salad that you always have to start with. Spicy, but so much texture, fresh. Then, you know, I always get, you know, green curry or some sort of a curry with the sticky rice.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's tied to me.
I can see why you live in Ward Village. You want to come down on this. I gotta ask for you, Chef. You know, this new position that you have, and it's so great because Ward Village is looking towards the future. They know that this is a culinary destination, and for you to be cultivating that. I mean, what's that like as an artist, as a chef? I mean, is it intimidating? Is it hard? I mean, it's got to be interesting.
I think it's definitely intimidating. You know, this is a you know, worldwide brand. And the standard is extremely high. You know, my job, you know, is to advise on the culinary scene here, with the goal of, you know, Ward Village being a world-class culinary destination. I also work in conjunction with the events team to make sure that those events also have that same, you know, standard that you know, Ward Village strives for.
Yeah, and I gotta ask, I know it's kind of hard, but what is your dream for the Ward Village food scene? Hawaii's got a unique food scene as well, but Ward Village is almost like separating itself because it's so dynamic. Where would you like to see that 3-5 years down the road?
I think you know, different, like, you know, this is an amazing Thai restaurant. We have amazing Vietnamese food. Peter Merriman does amazing farm table local. Just more of a mix, I think. Definitely strong local influence because I think the food here is amazing. Chefs are super talented, but I think just striving for a mix of things here. Yeah.
I gotta ask for you, when you're walking around here and you live down here,
Yeah.
how does it make you feel when you see locals come down and check out these places? Because I know that's happening. You know,
Yeah.
there's so many more locals that are coming down and checking out the Thai place.
Yeah.
You know, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good because most times we just walk around, and that's all the greenery and the parks. I think that's their goal, is to make it a walkable community. So, that's good for I have a 5-year-old. So obviously it's nice. It's nice to live in a somewhat rural, I guess, community within the concrete jungle.
You guys
right?
go to that park a lot down there, right? With the
But-
playground out there.
Sometimes there's so many kids
Oh
there.
my gosh, it's like a daycare, dude. You just go and they'll run around for 2
know.
hours. I gotta ask, Chef, does your young one have the culinary fire that you have?
I try to push it on him, but he's a 5-year-old, so he's a typical wants ice cream. He doesn't so picky, but he's a good kid.
I
so
love it.
Lucky.
I love it.
Yeah.
In a cool way, and it's quite funny. My son too. He's like, he sees his dad on TV. He's like, I want to be on TV. Does he know what you do though, and that you're a chef that has these amazing talents? I mean, does he kind of have a concept that dad's amazing?
He knows that I work a lot, and he knows when I'm home I'm tired.
Yeah.
He doesn't know why, but one day I think what I love about culinary is that it teaches like hard work and discipline, So even at a young age, whether he wants to be a lawyer or whatever he wants to be, I would love him washing dishes at some point because there's nothing like being in that in that atmosphere as a young kid. I was 15, 16 when I was in that atmosphere, so it's the same thing.
Yeah, no, it taught me hard. My first job was a busboy at Wasabi Bistro. And it taught me so much how to stand up straight, how to pick up plates correctly. It was a higher end restaurant. I had to wear a tie. It taught me so much as a 15-year-old. You're so right. Chef, we should eat here a little bit. I know there's one other restaurant though that we want to go and check out. Can we have a few bites and then we'll head on over there?
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, cool. Awesome. It's nice, the security living in Ward Village is
Definitely,
nice.
yeah, especially for a young family. Yeah.
Do you walk down the street and check out the park?
Yeah.
This park is crazy, isn't it?
But you say it's like daycare.
It's daycare. There's like 20 kids there every afternoon, and it's funny because it's right when the shade comes down. Okay, Chef, I am so full from when we ate over but I know we're here at Pinky Smalls. This is your next place that you picked. And before we get to this dish, we were talking. Miley, when she was growing up, her first dish that she remembered making was Simon. And she still talks, even after a hard day's work, she comes back. Do you kind of remember what your first culinary journey was? What was the first thing you started making?
I think it was, I think it was a cookie, some kind of baked good, I remember. And then shortly after, I was trying to make lunch for my older brother going to school. And I was kind of, whatever could fit between 2 slices of bread.
Must have been some unique interests.
For sure. Definitely fusion.
Right, fusion. So you were fusion before it was fusion.
There you go.
And speaking of fusion, Chef, what do we have here today? And look at all these ingredients. What are we going to be putting together?
So this is their Burmese salad where there's just so much texture. This is green papaya. And I think this right here is garlic.
Wow.
Yeah, this is.
You can just smell it when you pour it like that.
Fried shallots. Wow. There's so much texture, serrano, sesame seeds here.
You were talking earlier about Ward Village and its unique mix of culinary influences, but it's so funny, even in Pinky Smalls, even more so.
For sure.
I've never. Actually, how would you describe this cuisine? Like, how would you? It's almost hard to put on a map, right? I mean, what would you say?
For sure. I mean, obviously, Vietnamese in its base. Andrew's so talented that he explores other cuisines as well. But it's all delicious.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of where he goes.
I gotta ask for you, Chef, being in Ward Village and you have all these great chefs, you were talking before how Hawaii, I think, and you've traveled the world, and you've seen the culinary, New York and all these things, but Hawaii is very unique where you chefs actually kind of share tips and secrets and support each other. Is that kind of unique for Hawaii itself, you think?
I think New York and San Francisco is probably a lot more competitive. Here is such a small community, and I think local style is obviously to help each other. We're all friends. I mean, we all grew up cooking.
We grew up together.
Yeah, we grew up cooking with each other. So to be competitive with each other, to me, it just doesn't make sense. So we all support. We all eat each other's restaurants. So I mean.
But it almost, I think, in a way, makes the culinary, not competition, but because you're helping each other out, the level just keeps rising.
Absolutely.
And rising. Do you see that?
There's, it's not a direct competition, but everyone is motivated by each other, right? So, if we see someone who's just crushing it, obviously that lights a fire, right? But in the end, we're all representing Hawaii, and I think that's what every Hawaii boy who goes away and comes back. We all have a small chip on our shoulder of our, Hawaii is just as good as New York, San Francisco. Honestly, we're heading there. We're heading there now.
And you're cultivating now in Ward Village. What do you see? I mean, it's funny. You have your pulse on all these different chefs and culinary things here and around the world. But what are you seeing in the food scene now? What's coming? And you've been in it for so long. But what's really hot now? And what's coming down the road in your mind?
I think embracing one's culture. I think. Is really, I mean, Andrew grew up eating these recipes from his mother. I mean, it's obviously translated, really well.
Yeah.
Miley, that's her family recipes, So I think, that's what makes Hawaii special, and I think puts us on another level is that our unique, culture of food.
Yeah, and it's funny, in the Instagram, social media world, everybody's looking for that, but we already have that here in Hawaii.
Yes.
Like, we have
we
that
do.
melting pot. Like,
for sure.
They're traveling and you can just come right here.
Absolutely.
And go to Vietnam or Burma, I can just walk down the street.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny, I don't want to put you on the spot because I know these are, but do you have a favorite kind of dish in the Ward Village area that you've been finding yourself, you've been eating a lot for the past couple months?
The local moco for sure this.
I mean,
this is it's just so many, it's fun to eat, there's a lot of texture. It seems like it's healthy,
right?
Which is
there's so much green in color.
Yeah, to find something that you want to eat and it's healthy, so that's another plus. So yeah, this dish for sure.
Cool. In Ward Village, with your position, not only working and cultivating chefs, but you got something that's coming up that you're bringing some chefs from around the world here for an event. Now, what is that like? Tell us a little bit about that.
One exciting part of my job is this collaboration series. I think what Ward does the same thing, collaborating with different architects, different builders, different artists.
Yeah, so true.
So it's the same thing. I'm inviting Mei Lin from Nightshade. She's these are people who inspire me, who I want to learn from. John Yao from Cato, also in LA.
Yes.
And Matt Lambert, formerly of the Muskie Room in New York. So these are people I've been to their restaurants. I love what they do. And I think, the meal would translate together as well as their flavors will translate in Hawaii.
Wow.
So.
And when you pick up the phone, you call these chefs and you're like, hey, I mean, it's kind of cool, but they know about Hawaii and the culinary scene.
For sure.
What is their response when they
there's absolutely no hesitation. There's like, oh, I get to go eat at, I get to eat at Senia or I go get to eat at Ping Lady. It's like they're excited. Obviously, I mean they know. They have the pulse of what's going on here.
Cool.
Yeah.
I gotta ask for the pulse. You now live, you work,
Yeah.
you play in the Ward Village area, and really, it's funny. When we were growing up, Ward Village was a bunch of warehouses,
Yeah.
and now it's where our families get. My mom works right over
Yeah,
there. In
yeah.
fact, I saw her drive by. But for you, living and working and raising a family, but then also being part of this culinary scene, what is that like? I mean, it's a new neighborhood, a new lifestyle. What's that like for you?
I living in New York and San Francisco, I'm used to that hustle and bustle. This is not quite that, but I'm a city kid at heart.
Yep.
So I like the buildings, but I also like the greenery. This area also feels very safe to me.
Yep.
So having a young family, that's also key. But being able to on your day off just walk to different restaurants, I think that's key.
Yeah. And then you two also being part of this. Ward really makes this commitment for these local events.
Yep.
Like they try to do these festivals, and I know you're a part about that.
Yep.
What is that like? Trying to organize festivals where you're taking the food, but you're outside, you're doing it a live cooking event. That's a lot of moving parts.
I mean, that's when you're in your restaurant cooking, you have everything at your disposal, right? You know where everything is. When you take that on the road per se, right, or outdoors, I don't think people realize how difficult that is. So, you know, when they do have these festivals, yeah, I think people need to understand that they're against all odds, you know, trying to make something delicious.
Yeah. The weather.
Yeah, and the weather,
yeah.
right? Hot, but yeah, give people credit.
It still turns out good. I was just at the festival and
Yeah,
I was like, this is awesome. Chef, I want to switch gears, and again, this might be a personal thing, but I'm always interested in people's ink. You have some beautiful ink right there. Is there a little bit of a story you can tell about this? Or I gotta say, I know in the chef world too, your ink kind of tells a story as well.
Kind of. So this is actually the Lone Cypress tree.
Yeah.
So you know, one of my favorite places in the world is Carmel, Monterey. You know, I spent 7 years in the Bay Area, so that's just what that is. Just different times. This is my son's name, Cade Thomas. So it's, and obviously my wife's name's on this side. So
smart man, smart man. You know, it's always cool though. You know, you spend a lot of time working, but I always know that ink for especially chefs and stuff, there's a story behind it. All right, chef. You know, this is an amazing dish. We put this all together. I want to say thank you for taking the time and just chatting, man. No, this is cool. Like I said, I mean, I want to hug you. When a local boy comes home, like you said, with his journey, and you're in charge of this amazing Ward Village dream, I'm very, very happy and confident that you're in charge of that dream. So thank you so much.
I'm honored.
No, this is cool. And also, now we can eat, but I don't think they brought us utensils. Right. So coming up after the break, we'll be back on Island Style. But after that, remember, make sure you come down to Ward Village, log on to their website to find out all the amazing culinary events that are happening just around the corner. Chopsticks? Can I have chopsticks?